The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, UNU Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Two Beards Talking with Daniel Sanders
and Matt Lassiter.
Oh man, we hope everybody had a great holiday. And in honor of the new year, I'm going to start off with this. In honor of the new year, if you're listening out there, I want to give back to y'all. So go on our Facebook page and interact with us. Let us know where you're at. Connect with us, and I'd like to send a care package out to some of y'all. So go on Facebook, get in touch with us, and let us know how to get something out to y'all. So we got a lot for y'all. We missed last week due to the holidays and everything, and so we're going to get caught up on a lot here. And of course, as we're always going to start off with our Crybaby of the Week segment.
Yay!
So to ring in the new year, and because we missed last week, y'all get a special treat. We had two Crybabies of the Week for you. The first one, we don't have any of their names, but the first one is...
We got some pretty sweet nicknames, though.
Yes, we do. The first one is, I'm going to call him a gentleman, even though he's not, was working in a vape shop and had the biggest meltdown I have seen since President Trump was elected. Simply because...
It was Fukushima level.
Yes, it was. Simply because a customer came in wearing a Trump shirt and a Make America Great Again hat and was trying to buy some vape juice for his wife. And the employee in this store, thank God he was fired the very next day. But, yeah, like you said, it was a Fukushima level meltdown. It was insane watching this video, watching this guy blow up the way he did. Our second Crybaby of the Week is, I don't know if this is a transgender man transitioning to woman or vice versa. I think it's a man transitioning to woman.
Yeah, it would have to be because of the way she got pissed off.
Yeah. She was shopping at a GameStop, and the employee accidentally referred to her as Sir. Because, because if you watch the video, this individual does give off a very masculine vibe. Like this is probably a pre-op situation we're talking about here.
Gives off of actually. She is 6'4", 220. She looks like a fucking linebacker.
But yeah, she had another huge meltdown. It was almost Fukushima level. Destroying store displays, demanding corporate's phone number, threatening to get the employee fired. It was insane. So, those are our two Crybabies of the Week for y'all. So here you go. This one's for y'all. Oh man, yeah, I could not believe. I mean, I could, after everything that I've seen, I could believe it, but it was just. When I was watching it, it was like, is this really happening?
If anybody wants to see those videos, just go to YouTube. You can type in literally Exhale City, Tucker, Georgia. We'll bring up that video of the dude losing his shit. And I shit you not, if you want to see the woman losing her shit, just type in Macho Ma'am Tranny Savage on YouTube, and it'll bring it right up.
Oh, man. So we're going to roll into the show. We got a bunch of topics to discuss here tonight. The first one we're going to discuss, we've talked about this Colorado bakery in the past when we were talking about religious freedoms, the First Amendment, things of that nature. And this Colorado bakery is being sued again. This is the same bakery back in 2012 that refused to make a wedding cake for a same-sex couple on religious grounds. And now a transgender attorney wanted a cake made celebrating her transition from male to female, blue on the outside, pink on the inside, and went to this bakery wanting the cake made. Now, this whole situation, to me, just screams of somebody looking for their 15 minutes of fame and trying to find a loophole around something. The Supreme Court has already ruled in the bakery's favor, in the owner of the bakery's favor, back in 2012. They ruled that the Colorado Civil Rights Commission violated the owner's rights by showing anti-religious bias in their decision. What they didn't rule on was whether or not a private business owner has the right to refuse service to anybody based on religious grounds. Now, me personally, I feel a small business owner, a private small business owner, has the right to refuse service to anybody for any reason at any time. And as the small business owner, I would reap the repercussions of what would happen.
See, I'm of the camp where make the fucking cake. It doesn't really hurt nobody. That's the camp I'm in.
Well, I'm also of the idea that the owner could have very well decided to make the cake and said, yeah, I'll make the cake and it's going to cost you $10 million. It goes against my religious beliefs to make this cake, but I'm going to do it as a business owner, but you're going to pay the price for it. And then the ball is in the customer's court as to whether or not they decide to go with it.
Yeah, but then you got a case for price gouging, because there's not a cake out there that costs $10 million.
Actually, there may be. I wouldn't be surprised. The queen is still alive and kicking.
I don't see the big fucking fuss. Like, make a cake, dude. Like, not that big a fucking deal.
You know,
if your God forgives, he'll forgive you.
I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna agree to disagree on this one, because I have to side with the bakery owner on this one. He is the owner of the business, and I personally think that this is nothing more, like I said, nothing more than somebody looking for a loophole in their 15 minutes of fame.
Well, I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying, like, okay, they came at it from the first time from the stance of, oh, I'm gay, you won't do this. Well, that didn't work. Let's try to come at it from a different angle and see what we can get. I'm not saying they're not playing an angle. All I'm saying is, dude, it's a fucking cake. Bake a fucking cake. Not that big a deal.
I mean, I support him because he's standing his ground, regardless of the situation. So, yeah, it's. I'm trying to think of the word here. It's help me out.
I don't have a thesaurus, so. Are you going to try to say it's the principle of the matter?
Yes, thank you. It's the principle of the matter. That's what it is.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. See, even when we're not together, we're still vibing.
That's not right. That's not right at all.
Oh man. So, yeah. Now this next topic, you I like the way you have it written on the board too. Cops and their bullshit.
What other better way to put it?
This one. Now this is a pretty interesting situation. So, a man in Indiana is facing felony confinement charges after he was driving through the neighborhood, and there's been a string of porch robberies in the neighborhood, package thieves, stuff like that. He observed a suspicious individual, and he stopped the individual. Now, it turned out the person he stopped was an undercover officer searching for a homicide suspect. And, you know, there's two sides to every story. The officer is saying he identified himself immediately by turning the lights on his car. The man being charged is saying he didn't identify himself as an officer until his backup arrived. Now, the the individual being charged, he did have a gun on him. He was licensed to carry a firearm, but it did not escalate to the point that any firearms were drawn. This was not a shooting or violent situation. It was handled, I think, professionally on both sides. But the simple fact that the man is being charged with a crime because he thought he was doing the right thing.
I mean, it's a double standard. Like, if you do something to a cop that is, like, I don't know, completely benign, like, hey, you can't leave till the cops get here because I don't know who the fuck you are, that's somehow a felony. But, you know, cops, because they wear a badge and carry a gun, can detain you for any fucking reason, and that's not felony. Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, and I agree to an extent. I will say that there are... I won't even attempt to throw a number out there, but there are several, I'll say, law enforcement officers out there who, because they have a badge and a gun, they've kind of let that go to their head. It's like an abuse of power type thing. And it's a very unfortunate situation because, like I said, this guy was just driving through the neighborhood and thought he observed a suspicious individual. He did not react violently. He did not react angrily. He simply used his vehicle to block in this undercover officer's vehicle, and he made sure the officer was who he said he was, and then that was it.
Now, I guarantee at some point they're going to use the "I was fearing for my life" argument.
Now, I've talked to a friend of mine who works in law enforcement, and he is of the opinion that the officer is in the wrong here, and that he feels, as do I, that while he's being charged with the crime, I don't think the charges will actually stick.
They shouldn't.
I don't think they will. I mean, there's really no basis. I mean, he wasn't technically confining him; he was detaining him.
I mean, he never, from what I understand, he never physically touched the man.
Yeah, so there was no physical altercation.
So he wasn't physically trying to restrain him. You know, so I mean, there should be no issue here. Yeah. Everybody went home alive and well.
Exactly. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this story. I want to find out what the outcome is going to be. I want to see if the officer involved is going to have the intestinal fortitude to step up and say, you know, hey, this is the situation, and he did what he felt was the right thing. We need to just let it be done with.
And also, as a cop, wouldn't you like to have citizens like that in your town? Something that they think is suspicious, and rather than losing their cool, just go, hey, what's going on?
Right.
I mean, he had a gun. There was, I mean, it could have went a lot fucking worse.
It could have. This situation could have gone hundreds of different ways, but fortunately, it played out in a manner where there was no violence, nobody was injured, and like you said, everybody went home at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the best case scenario for something like this. Everybody goes home, nobody gets injured.
Right. Again, it's an unfortunate situation that the man is having to deal with this during the holidays. Yeah. The holidays are stressful enough as it is, and now he has to worry about felony charges on top of it. Now, the article that I read did say that he was out of town when charges were brought against him. His wife was being interviewed, and his wife said he intends to turn himself in as soon as he's back in town. So, that right there ought to tell you, you know, I personally believe the individual story that the officer did not identify himself until backup arrived, because you know he's not trying to hide anything. He's he's going to turn himself in as soon as he gets back in town from whatever it is he's doing. He doesn't have anything to hide.
I don't know. Like, it's. I'm getting tired of all these fucking cop stories and them doing just dumb shit, and it being everybody's fault but theirs.
Right.
Man, that shit's getting fucking old.
Yeah, and we're not saying that's the case with every single situation. It's cops get a bad rap, kind of like the military gets a bad rap, and a lot of it is because of the media. The media doesn't want to cover the fact that we built a new schoolhouse and 12 new houses for an Iraqi family and their sheikh and everybody over in this village. They care about this army soldier on the other side of the country throwing puppies off a cliff, or
who throws puppies off a fucking cliff, man? That's fucked up.
Or these soldiers making detainees strip down and pose in nude photographs and getting sexual positions and everything. That the media, that's what they care about. They don't care about the hearts and minds of it unless we're fucking up people's hearts and minds.
Do you want a cool cop story? I've got a cool cop story that happened to me over the weekend.
Let's hear a cool cop story. Let's hear it.
Alright, so I got that four-wheeler for Christmas, right?
Right.
So I've been riding the shit out of that four-wheeler. And you remember the back way I showed you from your house to my house?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on those roads, riding around, having a good time. Went down, took a left. I was turning around to come back because it was fucking cold. And I was ready to put the four-wheeler up, and I happened to see both the Pals cops sitting at that four-way. And I was like, oh shit, here we go. Because I'm riding on this four-wheeler with no helmet on public roads, two things that are very against the law. And so I just kind of eased off the throttle, pulled up to them, and I was like, hey guys, what's up? And the younger cop was like, hey man, you got your license? Yeah man, no problem. So I was reaching for a wallet, and he's like, dude, I'm just fucking with you, I don't care. I was like, that's cool. Yeah, we're out here just, looking for meth heads, trying to find needles. And I was like, that's cool. Well, you guys have a good fucking day. I'm going to the house.
Well, they're looking in a real good place.
Oh, yeah, dude. So much meth on that road. But, yeah, I was breaking two laws right in front of them. But they did what I think most cops should do.
Let the little fish go so they can catch the bigger fish later.
Yeah, I'm not hurting anybody by having a little fun. So let me have my fun. Go catch your meth heads. Everybody wins.
It's I had kind of a similar incident a few months ago. I was driving down the road. I had just pulled out of the driveway, and I don't always wear my seatbelt.
Yeah.
So I had pulled out of the driveway. I hadn't put my seatbelt on yet, and I just so happened to pass by an officer right as I pulled out of the driveway. When he turned around, he pulled me over, and he told me he stopped me for not wearing my seatbelt. Okay, I understand. Whatever's going to happen happens. Well, he notices I've got a Marine Corps bumper sticker on my truck. He asked me, Mr. Sanders, you a Marine? Yes, sir, I am. Well, thank you for your service. And I'm in a dead zone. My insurance is on my phone. I can't pull my insurance up. So I'm in a dead zone. I'm trying to get the insurance pulled up. And he realizes what's happening. And he finally just asked me, Mr. Sanders, do you have insurance on this vehicle? Yeah, I do. All right, well, you go on. Have a nice day. Most of the cops around here are like that. They're not worried about the little things because they know there's bigger things that need to be taken care of.
Yeah, I give this area a lot of shit, but most of the cops are pretty cool.
Yeah, they really are. Unfortunately, that cannot be said all over the country. There's, the old adage, one bad apple ruins the whole bunch, and unfortunately, there's a bunch of bad apples out there.
Well, I'm not saying there's not dickhead cops here. I know of one. I just won't say his name on air. But, that's one.
Right.
Out of the hundreds of cops we have in this area, I know one.
Yeah.
That goes out of his way to be a dick to people.
Yeah, and all it takes is somebody's interaction with that one cop, and they've got a bad taste in their mouth for the entire law enforcement agency in the area.
Which, luckily, I'll say he's no longer a cop. He's since retired from that and doing something else. But still,
I think I know who you're talking about now.
You probably do.
Oh man, yeah, it's unfortunate, but like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on this because I want to see how it plays out, and hopefully everything works out for the good in the end. Like I said, I don't think the Chargers are going to end up sticking on this.
Hey man, glove don't fit. You must have quit.
Oh man, and worst case scenario, we'll use the Chewbacca defense.
Oh shit!
So now the next topic we have, this one really pisses me off because I dealt with this, like I tried to handle this personally, and we've talked about stuff like this in previous episodes with the blackface and how it's been deemed, how mainstream and social media has deemed blackface to be just one of the most racist things you can do short of lynching somebody. So I was browsing my Facebook feed the other day and I came across this video, and it's called Racist Ruins Black Family Christmas. And we have the video posted on our show page if you want to go on there, check it out, and leave your thoughts on it. But the man who made the video is a comedian that I've never heard of. And
he's a YouTube comedian.
Oh, okay, so YouTube comedian. There you go.
He doesn't have a lot of following.
And doing stuff like this, I can understand why. He is a black man, dressed himself up, painted his face white, pretending to be white Southern white supremacist, and just goes in, trashes this people's gathering, all kinds of other stuff. And I reported the video to Facebook because, to me, that is racist. Well, a few days later, I get a response back, and Facebook is saying that this video does not violate their community standards. I don't know if there's a double standard here, or if it's just impossible for white people to experience racism.
I mean, I'll say this. I watched the video and I laughed at it. I mean, I didn't get mad about it. I found it pretty funny. But that's just me.
But, on the flip side of that coin, look at the movie Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd. The scene where, he dresses up in blackface, pretending to be Rasta, all that other stuff, for their little train gag trying to steal the orange crop reports.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that that's racist. It's racist for anybody to dress up in blackface. Blackface in and of itself is racist.
Well, that's because it comes from a period of racism. I mean, they literally did that and played on the stereotypes to be racist.
Yeah, but you got to remember, it's also coming from a time period where, men were also dressing as men, and, black people, unfortunately, black people during this time period of the minstrel shows and everything, they had no rights.
Well, I think you're actually confusing Shakespearean with early American.
Well, there were also still, at that time period, there were also still instances of men dressing up as women for stage productions and things of that nature. It wasn't as prominent as Shakespearean times, but it was still happening.
But, I mean, that blackface for usually is racist when done like that. If it's done in a movie, it's done to, elicit a laugh or something like that. They're not trying to be racist. Like when Robert Downey Jr. did it in Tropical Thunder.
Right.
He wasn't being racist. That's just, it happened to be a white man who was cast to play a black man.
Right. But, that's the thing about it, though. In this instance of what we're talking about, I feel like it is racist because he's he even titled the video, Racist Ruins Black Family Christmas. Not all white people are racist. Not all white Southern men are racist.
Well, no, it just
You're a
happens
man,
to be-
you live in the South, are you racist?
No, I hate everybody equally.
No, there you go. So, in this context, the way this video was done, I feel like this was done with racial undertones, and I did not agree with it.
Well,
I furthermore did not agree with Facebook's decision to say that this video did not violate their community standards, because there have been multiple instances of individuals. We were talking about it the other day. The girl that was kicked out of her frat and subsequently kicked out of her college for dressing up in blackface.
yeah, and like I said, that she wasn't being racist. But again, I say, yeah, it's his headline was "Racist Ruins Black Family Gathering" or whatever. Well, of course his character was racist. It was supposed to be racist. It's kind of like when Dave Chappelle did the black white supremacist thing. Of course that character was racist. It was supposed to be. That's why I don't have if you're coming at it from a comedy standpoint, I don't have an issue with it, because when we start telling comedians what they can and can't make fun of, that's when we start getting into policing speech. And I'm not for policing speech.
And nor am I. And, on that token, I'll talk about this because this is something I saw in the news today. Comedian Louis C.K.
Yep, I saw it.
Yeah, he is under a lot of fire right now for criticizing the victims of school shootings.
Well, I haven't heard the actual audio. I'm not going to pass judgment on it till I hear the actual audio. If he's just making fun of David Hogg, then I don't give a shit, because David Hogg has brought it on himself.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
If he's making fun of like Emma Gonzalez, she's brought it on herself. Now, if he's making fun of actual victims who were actually, shot during school shootings, then that's where I'm going to have an issue with it. But they put themselves in the public eye on purpose. They brought it on themselves. You cannot go in the public eye and not expect scrutiny.
Yeah, I heard some of the audio. He did not name any individuals directly, but he was referencing his joke towards survivors, not the actual victims that were killed.
But like I said, that one right there, it's kind of a slippery slope. I mean, that's why Alex Jones lost all of his shows,
right?
Because he was talking about how which shooting was it? The one in Connecticut. He was saying it was a hoax, that it never happened.
Yeah,
and that's why he lost all. That's why he got deplatformed, because he says intentionally inflammatory things.
Right.
But I want to actually hear the full audio.
Yeah.
And hear the context of the joke.
Yeah, I think we'll talk on that more next week. We'll try to get the audio file loaded up and try to get them loaded up so we can play them on air and everything. But yeah, again, I agree, but I also disagree to an extent as far as the content of this video goes. I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can say it's racist for these individuals to do it regardless of context. Say, blackface is racist regardless of what you're doing, but then turn around and dress up in whiteface and not expect anything to happen.
Well, I mean, I've watched several documentaries. Well, I say documentaries. I've watched several different videos and stuff on various different platforms where I've seen people say, black people cannot be racist, which I don't agree with. But they say the reason that black people cannot be racist is because to be a racist, it has to come from a point of where you feel you're superior to somebody else. So they're saying that's what true racism is. If you feel superior, then you're a racist.
Right.
And that's why they're saying that black people can't be racist, because they've never felt superior.
See, I disagree. I think I don't know. This is a very touchy subject for me, and and I'm sure it's touchy for a lot of people. So we're gonna move on to the next topic here before I lose my cool. Not at you, just over the topic in general.
Come at me, bro. I ain't scared.
You ain't never scared.
Never scared.
Oh man! Now this is the last topic that we have that you wrote on here. Apple and their fuckery.
I mean, it's fuckery.
Okay,
is.
So what this is, there is a Christian Ministries app that has been put under the microscope as they are preaching messages that being gay, LGBTQ, and everything. This is a disease that can be prayed away, so on and so forth. And
pray away the gay camp.
Of course, the LGBT community is up in arms over this. Apple has decided to remove the app from their store, and the people, the creators of the app, they're saying, it's not about us being anti-gay or anything like that. The creator of the app even said, I love gay people. I love everybody. That's who I am as a Christian. This app is meant to help people who are struggling with their religious faith and so on and so forth. Now, is this, could we look at this and say that Apple, is showing anti-religious bias? Similar to the bakery incident.
Well, I say it's Apple doing what big corporations do and caving to a few people that have been pissed off. Now, again, you know my views on religion, though.
Yes.
I mean, I've looked at every instance in the Bible where they mention same-sex, and it's ridiculous to me. People don't understand the history behind it. They think, oh, it's man. No, that's not what they were trying to stop. They weren't trying to stop man on man. They were trying to stop man on boy. They were trying to stop pedophilia.
Right.
That's why it was included.
Well, my thing about it, religion, organized religion, in and of itself, is a man-made construct. Plain and simple. And I feel as a man-made construct like any other, it is designed to manipulate and control the masses. So, if I tell you, the Bible says, do this or you're going to burn in hell. Well, by God, I better do this or I'm going to burn in hell. The Westboro Baptist Church people.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, they believe that if, the Westboro Baptist Church, they're the hardcore pray the gay away people. That's they just that's another group that I have my own personal opinions about. But
oh yeah,
when Baptist ministries won't even claim you, that's a problem right there.
Well, I mean,
I'm going to claim to be a Baptist church, and Baptists are going, no, we don't want you. Sorry.
Well, for the most part, I will say your average Christian church does not preach hate.
No.
But there are a few out there that do. In case in point, Westboro, they preach nothing but hate.
Absolutely.
I mean, Westboro in and of themselves could be an entire show. Just because of how shitty they are. But, again, I say, the whole gay in the Bible thing, a lot of that comes from the same book that makes it a sin to plant two crops in the same field. So, they weren't exactly thinking this shit through well when they wrote it.
Right. And that's the thing about it. They say, it's the word of God. No, it's the word of man. The Bible was written by man. I don't care what anybody says. I agree with Russell Brand. The Holy Spirit ain't got a pen.
According to the way the Christians tell it, the Old Testament was told to man by God himself, and they wrote it down. The New Testament is all man-made creation.
Yes.
That happened after Jesus.
Yes, but the Old Testament was written in a dead language that has been translated and reinterpreted time and time again so much that I think the true meaning has been lost in translation. Because, I mean, look at how many different versions there are of the Holy Bible. You have the King James Version. You've got the New Age version. There's so many different versions of the Bible.
We only have the King James Version because he wanted a divorce. That's the only reason we have that version. The New Age version, we only have that version because people can't read Old English well. So they're like, what the fuck is this saying? Well, we're going to translate it into today's speech patterns.
Yeah, and, I feel like a lot of it has been lost in translation down the line.
I mean, I can't read Hebrew or Aramaic, so I couldn't tell you.
But, I don't... like you said, this is a small group who is upset about something, and Apple is... I personally think they're taking the wrong side on this. Personally, I don't think Apple should be taking any side. I think Apple just needs to remain neutral and do what Apple does best and overcharge people for shitty product.
Well, yes and no. The issue here is it's now cool to take a side. Like, it used to be, businesses were like, I don't care, I'm just trying to make money. But now they're like, oh, a small group of people is pissed off about something. Oh, these people should be run out of town because they put out a product that did this. I mean, that's just the way 2018, 2017, that's the way those years went. It's cool to be offended.
So that's what the cool kids are doing now?
Just going out and getting oppressed.
Oh man. Can we write a letter to our congressman and ask if we can enact a purge? Is that something we can do?
I don't think they're going to be okay with murder. They usually frown on that.
Or, just remove all the warning labels and let Darwinism just take effect.
Well, I mean, that's a possibility, I think. But, well, no. Fucking FDA. Sons of bitches. You gotta have them fucking warning labels.
And I hold pretty much the same opinions that you do about religion. As you know, and as our listeners know, I'm not a very religious individual. I'm agnostic. But I'm not against religion. If you want to practice religion, hey, that's your choice. By all means. Live your life, be happy. If you want to be gay, hey, live your life, be happy. You don't like what this individual's saying? Guess what? You don't have to listen to it. You don't like what they're saying in this app? Guess what? Don't fucking download it.
Well, I mean, the problem with an app is you don't know what you're getting until you've got it. I mean, because I guarantee you on the app, it doesn't say, hey, this is a Baptist app, we're going to do some gay bashing. No. It's probably like, hey, this is a Christian app. If you're a Christian, download this app. And then they get to the gay bashing. So, I mean, we don't know where this came from. And if they're covering the Bible as the Bible is, you got to take it as a whole and realize that there are anti-gay verses in there. And that's just something you have to deal with. You can't, well, I want to say you can't rewrite the Bible, but goddamn it, it's been done so many fucking times. Who can't rewrite the Bible?
Right.
But,
and, most, I will say most people know that the Bible, while is not filled with anti-gay and hate rhetoric and all that other crap, it's not filled with it. It has it, but it's not filled with it. Most people know what Christianity's views are. Most Christians' views are as far as being gay and transgender and so on and so forth. So
actually, there is no biblical view on transgender. That wasn't a thing.
Well, yes, but in today's society, it's the whole LGBTQ community as a whole. Most of them know what most Christians think about it. Not all Christians think that way, but most do. And, plain and simple is, okay, there's probably going to be something in this app that I don't agree with. I'm just going to be the bigger person here and just not download it, and, it's no sweat off my back now.
Well, I mean, at this point, like with Apple caving, how long is it going to be before they say, well, we should take all Bibles off shelves?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, that's a very logical step. I mean, it does have anti-gay views in it. But, again, I think that's a very radical step that we'll never get to. But people gotta stop caving.
I'll disagree with you. I think we will get to that point. I think at some point, we may not see it in our lifetimes, but our society, I think, will get to the point where somebody is going to say the Bible is got verses that are anti-gay and so on and so forth, and I'm gay and I don't agree with it, and we need to just take all the Bibles off the shelf.
Well, I mean,
and then at that point, who is going to prevail there? Is religion going to prevail, or is this LGBTQ community going to prevail?
Well, you also got to look at the way the world's trending. If you look at, places like countries that have been around longer, because the United States is very much still a baby as far as countries go. England is far older than we are.
Right.
So if you look at their society, the majority, I wouldn't say it's a huge majority, but the majority of their people they no longer identify as Christian. They identify as either atheist or agnostic.
Right.
So the way it looks is, in a world view, the older the society is, the further they get away from religion. So it'll be, I guess, how much longer before the U.S. starts tracking that way?
Well, I personally think it depends on the society because, over in the Middle East, we're talking about oldest society on the earth over in the Middle East.
We are and we aren't.
And,
for a long time, they didn't get to govern themselves.
They didn't. But even to this day, they are, most of them are devout, 100%, praying however many times a day they pray, just all of it. I mean, I've heard, my first deployment, I will never forget the first time I stood a post in the middle of the night that ran over into the morning. And I heard the first call to prayer of the morning. It's a very, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not terrifying, but
Are you going to go with eerie?
I could say eerie. It was a very eerie sound. Just as the sun is coming up, and the call to prayer starts playing over the loudspeakers and everything. It personally, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought all hell was about to break loose in the middle of the city.
But again, I say you have to look at these countries like Iran and Iraq. How long have they been able to rule themselves? because that comes into account, because when they were finally able to rule themselves, they were hundreds of years behind everybody. So, in my honest opinion, they are culturally, well, not really culturally, but I'll say, like, as far as religious doctrine goes, they've made it to the Dark Ages. As far as their religious doctrine goes. I mean, they've made it to the point where they're like, hey, this is how we're going to treat women. This is how we're going to do this. This is our view on gays. And, you know, they kill people. I mean, it's a proven fact. But Christianity is only, 300 years removed from that? 400 at most?
Yeah, I think so, give or take.
I mean, Christianity's been in the same place that Islam is today. The only difference is when Christians were doing it, they didn't have iPads and Facebook. So, you know, it was very much a localized thing. Now, when something like that happens, you see it on a global scale. So, of course, we're going to be like, whoa, you can't do that.
I think we have found the root of the problem right there. Technology is the root of the problem. We need to go back about 30 years as far as technology is concerned.
I happen to like my internet and my Call of Duty, so fuck you, buddy. 30 years ago, I could not have played Call of Duty. I'd have been fucking playing Pong, and I'd been very pissed off.
Dude, fucking Pong was the shit.
Yeah, if you like fucking playing video game ping pong.
Dude, I play Pong now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and it annoys me.
That's because you suck at it.
It's fucking video game ping pong. You can't suck at it.
Duck Hunt. That was the pinnacle of technology right there. You
Yeah,
shoot at a TV screen with a gun and ain't got to worry about breaking nothing.
Yeah, in the fucking
Until
80s.
dog pisses you off and you throw the gun at the TV screen.
Yeah, but back then the TV screens were 10-inch thick glass. You wasn't going to break it. You broke your gun.
Yeah, that's true.
You do that shit nowadays, your fucking TV explodes and catches on fire.
Oh, man. That's something I wish they would have done with the little NES Classic console that they came out with. I wish they would have done, updated the little NES blaster to work with LED TVs and included Duck Hunt on there.
Why? So you can get pissed off and ruin your LED TV?
I mean, I'm a little bit older and more mature now than what I was when I was playing at 4 or 5 years old. So I can say, you know what? That dog is pissing me off, but my 4K TV is really important.
Yeah, but I've also heard you literally throw your controller across the room.
That's because the controller wasn't responding, and I didn't throw it at the TV.
No, but same sentiment, different direction. Same outcome. Luckily, controllers are made better now.
Yeah. The controller is working properly now, and nothing was broken.
So what you're saying is violence does solve problems.
Yes. I learned that in the military. Violence solves a lot.
I learned that working with computers.
Yeah.
But
if the printer doesn't want to cooperate, give it a good smack and it'll start printing.
Maybe.
Depends on where you smack it at, really.
Either that or you got glass in your fucking hand.
Oh no, you don't slap that part of it. Hopefully you got enough common sense to know that.
I've seen people do it.
Well, okay, so for some, common sense is an uncommon virtue.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a flower that don't grow in everybody's garden.
Oh man, so yeah, this has been. I hate the fact that we missed last week. Because for me personally, for a lot of our listeners, they didn't get to take a Christmas break, and I know how that feels. I've spent every major holiday of the year deployed overseas, so I know how it feels, and I hate the fact that we took a break, they didn't, but I'm also appreciative of the fact that we were able to take a break.
Yeah.
That's why, like I said at the start of the show, that's why I want to put together a care package for some of these guys out there. So if y'all are interested in receiving a care package from us, by all means, hit us up on our Facebook page. Let us know where to send it to and everything, and we're gonna hook you guys up.
I mean, who would want a care package from us?
Yeah, because me personally, I know what most troops like to receive in a care package.
He knows what goods. He knows the good.
I know the goods. Best care package we ever received at random while I was employed in our came from the pulmonary division at UAB.
Yeah.
And, pulmonary deals with, major vital organs like heart, lungs, stuff like that. They sent us cartons of cool cigarettes and logs of Longhorn dip.
Huh. That's a hookup.
Yeah. That's, that was probably, excluding all the care packages that I received from family and everything. That was probably one of the best random care packages we received over there. That was the only care package we received that had, tobacco products in it.
Man, you can't turn down free tobacco.
Oh, no, absolutely not. So, yeah, like I said, look us up on Facebook. Let us know where you are. If there's something specific that you'd like to have in there, don't be afraid to ask. Worst thing we can do is tell you no.
Yeah. That really is the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah. You'll get a care package. Just don't be asking for $200 Oakleys and $50 Under Armour hats and stuff like that.
Is that not standard issue nowadays?
What's that?
Is that not standard issue nowadays?
Yeah. I realize it is the season of giving, but some employers haven't given to us yet. So.
True.
Oh man, but yeah, this has been a good show. I'm glad we were able to get back on here and get back in touch with our listeners and everything.
And you did it on location.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very fortunate that my employer actually allowed me to do the show tonight while I'm at work. So, hey, props to him.
Don't want to ride that motorcycle.
Well, come down in the morning when they're open, and I bet he'll let you ride it.
No, he won't. Insurance purposes won't allow it.
He might.
Yeah. I'll probably decide one hell of a waiver.
Have you got a motorcycle add-on on your license?
Oh yeah, I've got a motorcycle endorsement. I've had a motorcycle endorsement since I was fucking 17.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go. As long as that's good to go and everything, and you got a helmet, you're good.
Yeah, see, helmets, that's not necessary.
Apparently not. Especially where you live at.
Well, what's a helmet going to do besides catch my brain after it explodes out of my head?
Prevent your brain from exploding out of your head.
Nope, not even a thing that happens. If you hit your head at 40 miles an hour, helmet or not, you're fucked.
You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. I have seen several instances where, I knew a guy that was doing 60 and got thrown off his bike, went headfirst into the pavement, and got up and walked away from it.
I watched one of my buddies wreck so good it was awesome. Like literally, he was on his sport bike, popped a wheelie, and when he set it back down, his front tire fucking exploded.
Now stupid shit like that, and this is the NCO in me coming out. If you do stupid shit like that, and something bad happens, hopefully you survive to learn your lesson, but you deserve the bad shit that's gonna happen.
Actually, this is how good of a rider he was. His front tire exploded, So he gassed it to get the front end back up, coasted on a wheelie, slowed down to 15 miles an hour, then ditched the bike. It was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because I thought he was dead.
Yeah, he was a very, very lucky individual then.
He was running like 90 when that front tire went, fuck you.
Yeah, I've had several friends who fortunately lived to know, okay, I don't have to do that again. Had some other friends who weren't as fortunate. And yeah, I have no sense. If you're out doing stupid shit on a bike and you fuck yourself up, I hope to God you survive. But at the same time, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, so far I haven't done anything too stupid on the four-wheeler. But, I've only had it 2 weeks.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you make it a year without wrecking that thing, then I'll be impressed.
Oh, that's easy. Because all I'm going to do is trail ride anyway. It's not like it's a Yamaha Blaster that goes like 80 miles an hour. The thing only goes 40.
Oh man, well we're going to have to start wrapping this up, but yeah, I have enjoyed being able to get back out here and talk to you guys. Go on our Facebook page, interact with us, and like I said, if y'all want a care package from us, just hit us up and we'll hook y'all up.
Eventually, we're going to do some more contests, so look out for that. Yeah,
be on the lookout for some more contests in the future. We might even have some stuff that we can give away in the future with the products, contests and everything. So, thanks for listening. Really appreciate you guys out there. You guys are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. This has been Two Beards Talking. I'm Daniel Sanders.
And I'm Matt Lassiter.
Thanks for listening, guys.